So Adam, today we're talking about creating business value with technology. And how are you seeing technology being used to impact business growth?
Yeah, so for my team, it's sort of multifaceted, right? So we focus on how do we help our business and application teams just deliver outcomes faster. And so for us, it's about unlocking value for them. So things we can use in the cloud or anything else to help them just do their job faster, better, easier. But in turn, we want them being able to do the same thing for the customers that they serve in whatever lines of business they're serving. So if it's helping planes to fly more efficiently or helping diagnose, getting better patient outcomes or things like that in our healthcare business, those are what are most important to us.
Yeah. So given that your organization is serving both external and internal customers, how do you keep the customer benefit front and center in your product development lifecycle?
So we've actually formed internal mini customer advisory boards on figuring out what's most important for our different lines of business to help unlock things for them. So we're trying to figure out where we best prioritize our time to help them move faster. And so we hold those every quarter and let our teams get together and hear directly from folks who are in our varying lines of business and also let them talk to one another. So that helps us keep our priorities aligned and making sure what we're building and doing for them is in their best interest.
So you talked about business priorities and alignment. How do you ensure that all of your technology initiatives stay aligned with those business priorities?
It's always a challenge because things are sort of constantly moving and evolving. But we use that in combination with very, very fast development cycles for what we're releasing as a team. So we're making sure that anything we're doing, we can do in very, very short increments so we can learn, test any hypotheses that we may be running, and then if it works, great, we keep going, and that's where we keep our investments moving. And if not, we'll pivot and move in a new direction if need be.
So you can do small pivots instead of big ones,
exactly,
right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Adam, where do you see innovation happening within your business today?
I mean, across GE in general, it's happening all over the place, right? We have a heritage of innovations, a 120-plus-year-old companies, invented a ton of things, even things that are in this room. Specifically for my own team and things that we're working on the cloud right now, in this regard, working on a lot of more automated responses and things in that regard. So one of the cool things we're doing right now is figuring out how we can provide a more automated response to letting teams have a more wide open account or structure or things like that, and have it basically self-heal. So not just around the infrastructure components or anything else, but if we detect an issue or something that's out of whack or compliance, we will literally just respond programmatically. So again, letting us focus in on what's important, right, what unlocks that value for us.
And where do you see investments being made in new technology?
It happens, again, all over our different business lines. So again, in sort of our internal team space, we're focusing in more on what can we do to help teams get to market from concept to customer faster. And that's something that's really important for us. But in our varying lines of business, we're seeing them use the cloud to accelerate just getting different products out to market sooner.
So how are you encouraging your teams to innovate and take risks?
Yeah, so I honestly like pushing our teams to stay current and stay active with the things that we're doing and building. So I myself actually try to stay as certified as I can inside AWS. And in turn, that sort of holds my team to a higher bar. They ultimately end up having to do the same thing. But we also get a chance to sort of showcase all the things that our teams are building. So we do sort of monthly demo days where we'll have our team come together with the things that they're building, either working on as a early project sort of in their gap time or something that they're doing more actively for a customer, and show that to groups, which usually spawns other ideas for teams to go and build on. So we've gotten some of our greatest innovations that way most recently by getting the teams to sort of build upon things that each one another's working on.
Oh, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, that's fun.
What are some of the innovations that are piquing your interest right now?
Yeah, so a couple of the biggest ones we're doing internally, we're working on, we have a just mass scale within AWS. So we have hundreds of accounts, and some of the management of those types of things becomes a little bit more of a challenge as we continue to grow at the velocity we're growing at. And so we're doing things to build tools that allow us to more easily interact across all those varying accounts. So we've built things that allow those bots we were hitting on earlier. We can use those to get a single pane of glass view into what we're doing and respond to any one account as if it's one big thing, even though we're still allowing each individual team to have their own actions.
It's great observability, yeah. Adam, GE's been using AWS for some time. How do you equip an organization of your size to take advantage of a big change like that?
So I think it comes down to really two things for us. So it's sort of a constant appetite to learn, because things are always changing, right, in the cloud space in general, and how our approach has been from day zero. So our very first sort of sprint to 50, so we moved our first 50 applications in 30 days. We had to take a very rapid approach to learning at that point, to even what we're doing today, where teams who want to consume what we call our guardrails environments, we require them to be certified. So they actually have to go in and have some AWS certifications in order to be able to have full freedom to be able to operate in those accounts. So we're constantly pushing that learning component, and that's one of the big spots. The other is about how we enable our application teams just to operate. So just organizationally, how we've structured things. We really offer it in two different pockets. We have teams that want to run full speed on their own, and so we have that offering that helps them go do that. We also have an offering where we have a set of subject matter experts that will do that on their behalf. And so being able to use that to help them go faster, it's sort of making sure we balance those different components, ultimately helps them.
Adam, how do you take that alignment and then help the enterprise move faster overall?
Yeah, so by having sort of those smaller, more agile teams, that's ultimately the way we've been able to accelerate our adoption of the cloud. So we have thousands of applications running there now, and continue to see sort of that exponential growth as more and more teams get empowered to use new services and ultimately migrate their workloads.
So think big and execute small.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Adam, it's been really cool to hear what GE is doing up close and personal with AWS and innovation, and want to thank you for coming and talking to AWS Executive Insights.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.